Peace, 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 everybody. I'm gonna give y'all a minute, let people come on to the live. So we're gonna give it a minute. I told you.
He still had 79 what's it called?
It be like that because how many you doing? Yeah. Peace. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Landlord 9. Peace. Respect. Peace. 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 Get a couple little minutes. So I decided I should go live since it's been so many. Peace, Sean. What's going on? I'm getting so many responses, comments, and DMs pertaining to a particular video or particular set of videos. So let's talk about it. Let's address it. Let's talk about it a little bit. Because it is a very triggering topic matter. So, let's break that on down so we can get rid of those taboos. Tomorrow. Hey, I'm live now. You keep but we're gonna talk about that. So just for a minute. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, but we need to clear the air on that. Clear the air on that. Because like I said, it's been a lot of comments, a lot of DMs pertaining to those particular videos. So let's go ahead and get this on out there. Right? The evils. Absolutely. Now, first, it's very triggering. It was very triggering content because, you're looking at really short little clippets, of an extensively long lecture and breakdown on that particular topic by Bobby Hemmett. So, a lot of people are immediately triggered by the things that was, portrayed in the video. And, it's to be expected. But that's okay, because that's the only way that you can shed light on things or bring things to light. So this page focuses on breaking taboos revealed around the occult. So the biggest taboo or the elephant in the room is always going to be the devil, because there's always that particular set of information that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And that's because when you get to certain levels of information, certain types of information that is defying certain institutionalized ideas, it gets very uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable thing to deal with, but basically, so to speak, just like I titled this live, that the devil ain't nothing but your lower nature. It's within your lower frequencies, like it was stated in that second video by Brother Panic, where he was describing it as polarities. So, those of us who have done research in metaphysics and looked into the occult, we have a different interpretation of what certain ideas and things mean and symbolize in the Bible. So, I did also put that video up that breaks down the 3 levels of religion, right? So with the 3 levels of religion, I further elaborate, and break down why, most people are always at odds when it comes to religion. See, I'm not a religious person. I consider myself to be spiritually free, so, and that's because the way that most institutions of religion is done, it only deals with the first and second level. It doesn't get to the metaphysical principles and philosophies that is underlying the whole meaning of everything that it's teaching you. And if you do that, every religion is pretty much the same. At the end of the day, it's the ultimate goal is self-realization. It's elevating oneself, returning back to source. It's pretty much what it all boils down to. So when we're talking about the concept of what the devil is, it's just understanding that it is your lower nature. It is your root chakra. The root chakra is red, which is why, hell, the devil, and so many things are related to red all the time, because it's about a frequency. So when you look at the rainbow, red is at the bottom. So red represents your root chakra. It's also your earth element. It's on the ground. So that's also why we oftentimes see the devil depicted as a goat. You know what I'm saying? The goat and ruling over the earth, a Capricorn. Like a Capricorn, because everything in the Bible, it does have a astrological or zodiac reference, because it goes back to cosmology, especially your Abrahamic religions. They all go back to cosmology, at the end of the day. So if people could elevate and go into metaphysics, we could break the barriers when it comes to religion. But most people don't do that, so they stuck in dogma. So when you're stuck in dogma, even if it's regardless of, because they're really just systems. But see, when you get to the metaphysical part, it's going to give you the underlying side of it. It's like gives you the elevated version. But if you never get to the metaphysics, it's like you just dealing with the fairy tale of it. Very easy to beat, low key. Just takes realization, saying, "Hey, I'm in my root chakra." Then boom, devil beat. That's right, but it takes self-awareness. See, a lot of people don't have self-awareness, and see, I feel like the way the matrix is built, that's why it keeps us stuck in survival, because the root chakra is affiliated with the earth element, so that's your stability. That's how you get money. So if it's keeping you in a rat race, a lot of people stuck at the red root chakra. So they can only see through the red lens. They can only see through, what it takes for them to get whatever it is that they want. And so if we talk about the heart, like I did a video talking about the heart, you're talking about your heart chakra, or your heart being the transformation center, then that's how you transfer up to higher dimensions of being. But you're not going to do that if you can't elevate to your heart chakra. So and a lot of people are stuck down in the root, and that's hell. That's being stuck in hell. If every day in and day out, you can't stop your mind from worrying, if it's always in that rat race, in that rat trap, and it's going, that's hell. They showed you on the show Lucifer, hell is loops. So you going in a loop day in and day out. You repeating cycles. It's repeating episodes. Because remember, life is a stage. This is a grand stage. So if you're repeating episodes, man, that's hell. It's like Groundhog's Day, right? It's hell. Until you understand and you master and you approach it from a different perspective, he can't escape the cycle of the day until he mastered himself and he mastered everything he was supposed to master so that he could transform. But he had to perceive it differently. You know what I'm saying? Lucifer is nothing but the light. This is broken, baby. Lucifer is the light bearer. Lucifer brings the light. It's just like Prometheus. So if you get a spark, a light of realization, and it makes you rebel against that system, you become awakened. That's why they say everything that we as conscious people do, why they call it satanic or say we Luciferian, that's why. Because that's what it is. It's everything that has to do with self-realization. It's everything that has to do with being more self-aware. It's everything that has to do with bettering yourself, meditation, burning sage, working with crystals, gemstones, all of that. It elevates your frequency. So it defies the programming. It goes against the system. So that spark of light, that's what Lucifer ultimately just represents, being the light bearer. It's the same thing as Prometheus. It's in all different, if you look at all different mythologies, because a story is the best way to translate higher spiritual concepts It's the best way to absorb it. You think about it, if you've been living with a story all your life since you were small, since you were a little child, to come up and to elevate that story and see you in that story, that's what you're supposed to do. See you in the story. It's like on the never ending story. But you got to see you in the story. You got to understand it. It's really about you. See, a lot of people take these books, see, because they're at the dogma level, they take them as history books. And they be the only book that they go by. And it's like, if you can open up, if you can bypass this, that's why I say, if you can get over the devil thing, if you can get over what they trying to beat into you to fear, then you can break out of the limitations that they placing on your mind. You know what I'm saying? That's like all it really boils down to. It all really is. So it's nothing but your lower nature when you talking about the devil. And when you're talking about God, it's nothing but your higher self. That's all you're talking about. And so, you know, a lot of things just make people uncomfortable because they have no way of, they fear. People fear what they don't understand. And that's not by coincidence. Of course, that's a program. They want to program you to fear the very things that's going to empower you. Absolutely. Like, they're not going to give you what's going to make you choose to override the system. Why would they do that? You feel what I'm saying? It's like the Truman Show. Like, you got to think about it. Truth is stranger than fiction. That's really just all it is. What is a female's version of male semen retention? Oh man, I don't know. A female's version of male semen retention. I mean, because see, women can masturbate. I mean, not masturbate. My bad. Like, a woman doesn't always orgasm. So I think a woman can. I think it's levels to that too. But you know, I ain't really all that. You know, because for males to reach higher self, we seem intent. I mean, it's a means, but it's a principle behind men going through semen retention, though. It's not about the semen retention itself. It's about you withholding from your own pleasures and indulgence. See, that's why I say it's pieces of truth in religion. When they say, like, you got to deny the things of the flesh, in a sense, it's kind of correct, metaphysically speaking. It depends on the individual. Some people have to withhold some certain things from themselves based on their own energy. And you got to understand that sexual energy is nothing but creative energy. You feel what I'm saying? So everything that you do and create, it's the same sense. So a lot of men, especially because men watch porn, so much porn. I ain't saying just men, but I'm just saying. But you got to think about how you utilize your creative energy. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all about how you utilizing that energy. And a lot of men are misusing that energy. You feel what I'm saying? So when they go through the semen retention, it does things for them on a spiritual level. Like, always remember, it's two sides to everything. Like, what you do in the physical, it can affect you differently in the spiritual. You feel what I'm saying? It's like it's two different worlds. You know what I'm saying? So it's all in that individual and utilizing energy. It's kind of like chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Because it's alchemy. Yeah, it's internal alchemy. So it's all about certain parts of yourself that you have to withhold and you have to tame. So it has to do with it. So yes, women do have a version of that as well. I don't know what we would call it or whatever, but yeah, that's how I see it. I think it's deeper than the semen retention itself. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more to it than that, because for some people it's food. You know, for some people it's drugs. For some people it's devices, it's electronics. You know, so for some people, it's different things. So it all depends on people and their energy. So that's why I say to keep game, like always stay on top of yourself. Use your tools properly. That's numerology, that's astrology, that's Reiki, that's anything that teaches you about self and how you process that internally. You know what I'm saying? How you react to that internally. Like, those are your tools that you use. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, because if we don't do the work mentally, we could just latch on to things and to replace our religion. And that's not really what we should do. We got to remember that all these things are tools. So you got to look at astrology, and you can look at your chart. It might be something in astrology that might make it so that it's easier for you to interpret or understand how your energy works. Because astrology ain't nothing but astrologic. So it's how you function according to the stars. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, if you born here in this physical, if you born here, then you can be impacted by these bodies by having lack of self-awareness. So the more awareness we get, then that's the more responsibility we take. So that's why, you know, it's like Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. This knowledge is power. See, it gives you more power. So you're supposed to use it over yourself. So it's about you being responsible. Do you think spiritual trend will lead us to another genre? I don't think it's a coincidence that it's a trend. That's why I'm always very careful about groups, because, you know, they already told us, like you said with COINTELPRO, they already told us that they know there has to be another black messiah. So they would prefer to choose who that black messiah is. And that's like why I feel like they do the infiltration in the means that they do it through the mind control. I did a podcast on mind control and like breaking down like what that really means and how everything is always attacking our minds all the time. So, you know, I talk about that in there. But, you know, yeah, I absolutely think that that's a part of it, because like you can send in people, you know what I'm saying? Or you can get to people that's in there and get people to persuade people a certain way and keep it divisive. And that's why I be like, it's always about a mentality. You can't really, I don't think we should do this for like as a leader, like looking for a leader. I think that we have to build everybody's mindset to be their own leaders. Rashad Jamal, from what I seen, I guess he was okay. I seen a couple of his videos. I know a lot of people found a lot of truth in what he was doing. So I'm not real familiar with his situation, but I know, like, you know, something is kind of going on with his whole situation as far as them trying to like lock him up and stuff. But I don't really know a whole lot about it. But I absolutely would say that all type of tricks is gonna come at you, and it's depending on the person. Like, we have to remember that, you know, we're really just getting our hands back onto this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's through our DNA, whether it's through the information we coming across. But they've been studying this for centuries. You see, like, they've been studying this. So they know who we are. You know, like, they know who we are. But we don't know who we are. So they understand certain things that we don't even understand about ourselves. But you can't follow nobody. Like, you can't follow nobody. It's giddy. Go to the twos. Go look at the twos. You asking me about 2K. But yes, downloads are ancestor communication, because your ancestors in your DNA. So that's where they go with. They in your DNA. You know what I'm saying? But I always tell people, I don't believe in following nobody, man. Like, Bobby Hemmett helped me a lot. You know, Brother Panic helped me a lot. Miss Blue helped me a lot. Like, a lot of people helped me a lot. But I never followed nobody because it just still felt religious. And I'm wary of, like, you can't, like, I just believe that our biggest obstacle is our mentality. And we have to let go of the savior mentality, period. We got to stop thinking there's going to be a black leader. We got to stop thinking it. That's my opinion. I think we all have to, like, realize we have to lead ourselves. Like, it's all about what you do, because you think about you going to impact everything that's around you. So if everybody is improving themselves, everybody doing the shadow work, you know what I'm saying? If everybody really doing the work, we're going to naturally change everything that's going on around us, because it's going to spread, because your kids going to be like that. You're going to teach your kids, like, because when you really in it, you really in it. You want to grow your own food. You want to homeschool your kids. You know, you want to build a community. So if everybody was in that frame of thinking, We wouldn't look for nobody to lead because we wouldn't need one leader. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't need nobody. And if you look at everybody, I hate to say it, but when you look at most of these people who come to the forefront, when you look at most of them, it ends up being some perversion. Like, and I hate to say that. I don't want to say that. I don't want to believe that. You know, but because it is some real ones who really legit trying to teach the people the right thing. But you just gotta be careful out here, man. It's you gotta discern. That's why you really have to do your shadow work. Like I'm telling you, you're not supposed to follow nobody. Like you can't follow you just follow your own soul. If they not trying to help you wake your soul up, then they not really for you improving. Cause it's still control. It's still mind control. You feel what I'm saying? If everybody loves the system, nah, cause I think the system can't survive without everybody. The system can't survive, but it's like I'm not for groupthink, but for us to do what we really would need to do, it would require everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think everybody is as radical as me. Like I'm radical. It's like, you know, for if we are set with the financial system or with a lot of things, it's like, yeah, well, we should just all just not. Imagine if we all didn't go to work. Now that's radical. That's extreme. But just think about it. What if we all did not go to work? Like really for real, honestly and truly now. Because nothing runs without the common everyday people. But that's an extreme thought. You know what I'm saying? That's an extreme way to look at it. So I feel like the best way to really do it, everybody got to do their own shadow. Everybody got to look to lead themselves. And if we can all be in that place, then naturally we're going to transcend higher anyway. That everything we do is going to be of a higher frequency. We'll naturally lift ourselves up. But I think that's the best way to go about it. Yeah, it's definitely layers and layers to it. It's definitely layers to it. Everybody healing, everybody got something for sale. Well, that's true. But you know, when you think about a healer, I mean, healing is just, you know, creating positive change. And it's a big conflict. See, that's why I say they do everything they can to keep us stuck down. Because even if somebody is truly trying to live through what they, you know, do holistically, it could be tough on them financially because they could feel like, you know, they could have lack of support. You know, it just might be hard for them to be able to sustain it. You know, so it gets really tricky, and because that'll mess your energy up too. You know, so it's like when we just been programmed that we have to do things such a certain way, and when it doesn't fit in that way, you know, it's hard for people to get with it. Because it's it's against the system. Healing is external shadow work for another person. And honestly, a healer or an individual practitioner can only really help you but so far. You know what I'm saying? Like they can only push you but so far. Like, and it's just different means and different methods of going about that. You know, spiritually. That's like when you see people doing you know, all different types of stuff. Talk about how to do shadow work. Yes. The book is like it's a basic breakdown of alchemy and the alchemical process, and pretty much how you go through that and what you got to deal with and confront. So yeah, that's what I talk about in the book. To do your own work. Yep. Yeah, you got to do your own work. It's like they teach you in school, show your own work. Yeah, do your own work. So you got to do your own work. You know what I'm saying? Like it's and the hard part too is we see people that we love struggling, and we want to help them in the same way that these things have helped us, but it may not be for them to receive it, and we got to get past it. That's something we got to let go. See, that's how we know, you know what I'm saying, that we haven't done the full work we gotta do ourselves. Let's see. So, and I've been the shadow work. So, and I've been doing I'm offering these energy reports. So basically, it's just a report. It's just a breakdown based on your name. So it's the science of your name, but it's still centered in numerology, and it'll kind of like just give you an overview, just of things just affiliated with your name and whatnot. The systems made to keep us in a low vibrational cycle. I mean, that's how I see it. Yeah, because it's like we the batteries. We make everything go. We make it go. So, and it's everything that they talk about. It's just like, even when people, you think about the terminology that they use in certain environments, like take, for example, the legal environment. Oh, okay, King T77, that was you that got the shot, that got the report. Okay, that all right. So I appreciate you coming through, getting the energy report. But it's just like in the legal system. You know how when you go to jail, they put a charge on you and they place you in a cell, and then you think about energy in terms of energy. What is that doing to your energy? See, all of this is really just about energy, man. It's like even when you go in the court, they usually have a zodiac, astrology wheel up in there. Correlate with the darker aspects of a person. By darker, I mean not evil necessarily. Shadow work is just it's just confronting the parts of yourself that you've hidden away, that you suppressed, that you don't want anybody to know that's there, because you feel like it's not going to be accepted, or just the things that gives your ego the strength to overcome you in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Because if you haven't fully accepted yourself, then certain situations you will make certain decisions, that's probably going to be destructive to your path, because you haven't fully accepted who you are as an individual. So you're going to deal with some suffering behind it until you do that. Or that's like maybe some form of abuse happened in your childhood, and maybe you have to let go of or unlearn the things that you absorb from that abuse that make you feel like you're less than, or a feeling of unworthiness. It's just all those deep things that we have to confront about ourselves, that powers our ego, because that's what our ego strives off of. It strives off of the things that we fear, which ultimately goes back to our insecurity and all those types of things. So that's pretty much what I mean when I say shadow work. So for some people, they may resort to alcohol when they don't want to deal with certain things within themselves, so maybe they have dealing with an addiction, or just things of that nature. So just that's pretty much what I mean when I say shadow work. What I feel about this Saturn retrograde. This Saturn retrograde is going to be about walking the walk. So whatever you've been talking about that you want to do, whatever you've been saying that you set in the motion for to do, this is going to be the season where you're going to be rewarded if you're going to walk that talk. That's what I see with this Saturn retrograde right here. Yes, it's accepting your lower self. Yep, shadow work is accepting your lower self. It's like the holy union, It's like the union of the higher and lower self. It's basically your yin and your yang. So it's bringing a combination of the two together, so you can be reborn. Like you're reborn in Christ born again. So you're reborn as a union of the two. So that's pretty much it. Yep, charge for your energy. That's what they do to you. Yes, so evil is perception. So it's all about how you perceive. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people wanted to comment, like, well, what about when people do evil stuff or what have you? That wasn't what was being said. It wasn't about approval of vile acts. That was not what it was. See, people just immediately went to that because they was triggered, of course, and that's just like, we just got this little boxed in, dogmatic just way of just perceiving this because we're a Christian society. Like, that's just what it is, what it boils down to. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about perception. It truly is. Like, whatever people do is what they do. There's consequences for their actions. You know what I'm saying? So the legal system is spiritually illegal. You know what? I think that I thought about this for a long time as somebody who studied sovereignty, as somebody who studied, law in that form, UCC and everything. I think that they have just replaced the natural law, yo. I think like the government today, as we know it, has replaced what's natural spiritual law. But if you look close enough, it's like a manipulation on so many different levels, like even down to language, where it's like you can still almost see where the law come from. Like even sovereignty, I feel sovereignty has a strong spiritual reverence to it. It has a lot to do with spirituality. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's what I'm saying. It's so many tricks out here. That's what I mean. It's so many tricks, yo. And it's so many things. You can get into so many different forms of thought, and there's so much truth there. But they've been like corrupted and, infiltrated. So it's hard for us to get what we're supposed to get out of it. I'm a 3 life path. 39, 12, 3 exactly. So I'm a 3 life path, and I'm a Virgo. I wouldn't say ego sucks. Ego is necessary. You know what I'm saying? The ego is like having a thumb. When you look in science, everything doesn't have an opposable thumb. You need your ego. Like if you study, you can't evolve, you can't develop character without adversity. You need the adversary. So your lower self is just your adversary. It's really your adversary, your ally. It's like I'm bad enough to the point where I can push you to your best. It's like I'm not the real bad guy. It's like, how can I say it? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's like having an opposable thumb. If you study ancient Egyptian in the pantheons, right? If you know all the gods, Set is one of the 9. When you look at, like, how they have, like, he keeps, you know what I'm saying, the great serpent away. He guards the boat. You need your ego. Your ego keep you alive. You just can't allow your ego to rule. The ego just can't rule. You know what I mean? But it's the part of you that comes out that protects you. So, like, when you haven't done shadow work, right? If you haven't done shadow work, the part of you that come out when somebody touch your wound, when somebody says something that triggers you and it hits a wound, and a part of you come out and it lash out at them, it's doing that to protect. Yes, your ego. But see, it's doing it to protect you, but it's because you haven't done that shadow work. You get what I'm saying? It's like Callie Mom. You know how she come through and cut the head? See, that's what it symbolized. That energy rises up, but it's because you have no control. You don't know how to utilize that power. So it just comes out and destroys shit before you get a chance to really do what you need to do so that you can grow from it. So a lot of times we end up growing through the destruction because that'd be the hard way we have to get the lesson. But see, if we do the shadow work, we might not end up in the destructive where everything gotta be just, come tumbling down in order for us to do that, like a tower moment. But you don't have to end up on the tower moment. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes though, some situations, some journeys, some cycles, you destined to have a tower moment. But it doesn't always have to be that way. Sometimes people just be hard-headed. It's kind of like having to repeat your grade. So, right, shadow work is finding out why you do what you do and why you do it. Yep, it's your habits. It's your religion. It's what you do religiously. So if you can pay attention to how you react to certain situations, environment, your pattern and how you react, then you'll see your habits. And you can take heed and know what you need to change, because you're like, man, I do this. I notice I do this every time I feel this way. So I probably should do something. I need to allow myself to feel that emotion just for that moment so I can let it go. So I can let it. Because if not, and I hold on to it, I'm creating conflict and all types of animosity and friction in my body. See, that's how you get the high blood pressure and everything like that. Them your demons. That's the demons at work. It's your bad habits. That's your demons. Everything like your diabetes. You know what I'm saying? All of that. That's ultimately the evil. And we know that there is evil in the world because we can feel it in ourselves. So you You know, because you can feel it in yourself, but it take a certain level of accountability to be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? And to be responsible for that. Everybody don't want to be responsible for their darkness. You know, it's better having somebody to blame it on. That's why the devil is the goat, because it's the scapegoat. It's better to blame it somewhere else, because when you take on that power, when you realize, damn, I am God, I am the devil, when you take that on, that responsibility, it's a lot that comes with it, and everybody can't handle it. That's why Morpheus said in the first Matrix, we don't tell everybody this. Once they get to a certain point, man, it'll destroy their whole world. Neo almost lost his mind. Because you lose your mind realizing that you're responsible for this. Man, I'm responsible for all this messed up stuff going on in my life. It's hard to come to the realization of that on all different types of levels. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to hold ourselves accountable. What role did you play in this? Because you played a role. The word is a stage. This shit ain't nothing but a stage. You know, what was your role in this? You know what I'm saying? Are you ready to end the cycle? You ready to stop repeating the episodes? You tired of rerun episodes? You know what I'm saying? So you got to confront yourself. And that's all shadow work is. That's all an occultist understands, because that's the hidden knowledge. That's the hidden knowledge. Because everybody couldn't have the hidden knowledge. You know, they had to hide it. They had to hide this because everything was taken over and run by the church. We got to remember, this is just history. And even though they do like to hide this particular part of history because they romanticize everything. And so you got to think about it. We've been brainwashed all these years. We've been growing up we done seen 10, 12, 11, Friday the 13th, Halloween's, Freddy Krueger. They've been scaring us all our life of the darkness for a reason. You know, but everything, it ain't bad luck to the ones that know. It's not bad to the ones that know and understand, you know, because it's the Jason. Why they call it Jason? Why they name him Jason, yo? Jason, like you know how we talk about, especially us as melanated people, we talk about how it get in the summer, how our energy get in the summer, how people start acting wild in the summer, because we in the season of Jason. Because we talking about energy. We talking about when the Sirius star gets to its highest point. That's really what July 4th is about. It's really not just about the United States Independence Day. You know, it's a celestial event that occurs. Every holiday coincides with a celestial event. Because why? Because they looking at the stars too. They know how this runs. They know how you run. But we just don't know how we run. We don't understand. So they program us to turn us against our own science. Because that's all it is. It's just your science. You know, it's just the science of melanin. It's just the science of darkness, of nothingness. You know, that's all it is. And we know that there is 98% of darkness out there that we cannot even see. We cannot even begin to fathom what we can't see. So understanding how energy works, that's all it really does, you know. Science, media, sport, yeah, all of it. So that's why they do that to us. And like I said with the Jason, that's why, because they've been programming us this way. They've been programming us this way. Because it's like the ultimate no-no. Even in a lot of conscious circles, you get to talking about the devil. It brings out that nature. It brings it out. And we got to get past that. If we really talking about elevating, we got to get past that. Because that's still, that's a mental trip up still. We're still not controlling our own minds. Because there's so much that we supposed to tap into. You only fearing yourself when you fear the devil. Know that. You only fearing yourself when you fearing the devil. And fear is a means of control. So they simply just want to control you. That's all it is. It's traditional propaganda from hundreds of years ago that we are still living by. You know? But that's all it is. You know, I don't want to take up y'all time too much. Or, you know, have too long a live. But it's been so many comments and so many messages pertaining to those videos. You know, and as somebody who's done a lot, looked into a lot of occult study, is not what they tell you it is. And it's like, man, I understand why they don't want us to know any of this. Because it'll completely and utterly change. It'll change everything. It'll change everything. You gotta face, I'm telling you, it's just you. It's your double self. It's your doppelganger. It's just like in Us, you know how in Us, like I'm telling y'all, man, they really give us the gems in the movies. But see, we're programmed to look at the movies like they're fake. You know, it's made up. And we look at the news and reality TV like it's real. And that's the scripted and the fake propaganda. That is the programming. The programming is in the news. And we know most of our older generation watch the news. You know, so when they say some people are going to be left behind, some people are going to be left behind. They're not going to be able to get on this wave of thinking. They're not going to be able to get on this wave of thinking. But what you got to know is, if you are, then they are. So save yourself, and you ultimately, you save them anyway. Because they are you and you are them. So you save yourself, you save them. So certain occult teachings will get you out of it anyway. But you just got to get, you just got to get into it. Now, the show Lucifer, it's probably one of my favorite shows because they give you the real. It's supernatural. I would say supernatural. I would say Lucifer. I would say, man, it's quite a few. I would say Westworld, Lovecraft Country. It's quite a few. But Lucifer, absolutely a cult masterpiece. I'm going to break that Lucifer down too. Because see, when you understand Lucifer, right? If you look up the sigil for Lucifer, it literally looks the way the optic nerves run to your brain. Because Lucifer is light. So when you see the way eyesight works, so your brain is telling you what you see. Your brain is telling you. So it's not that your eyes is seeing. No, whatever is coming into your mind from your brain, from your nerves, is what your eyes are telling you to see. So if you change your mind, you can change everything about your reality. So if your optic nerve, literally the way the optic nerves run in your brain, it looks just like the Lucifer sigil. So that's why it's just the third eye. That's why they say the third eye is evil. That's why they were saying for so long, oh, that's Luciferians and all. That's why they were saying it. Because it's a whole nother eye. It's like activating the eye within yourself. If y'all seen Dr. Strange, y'all see he had that third eye, that it was the evil version of himself. Because he could see the darkness. Yo. So I'm gonna release the Stranger Things. We watched the Stranger Things season 4. So I'm gonna do the breakdown on that, and it's gonna touch on a lot of that too, because it touches on that in Stranger Things, how they go into the upside down world. So it's all in it. It's all in it. It's all in it. They had some gems in, yes, they did have some gems in Stranger Things. So I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna put it out tomorrow when I'm breaking down Stranger Things, and how your life is an initiation, and how everything about what you do is initiating you into the underworld. Constantine, which movie? Tom Hanks. I know Tom Hanks was in the, what was it? I know what you're talking about though. I can't recall, but he was in there. I think it was like a three-part movies or something like that. But yeah, so yeah, it's all what it is. We're just talking about energy. It's just polarities. It's just a polarity. It's a polarity of the same thing. It's like, where does hot begin and where does cold begin? You can't say that for sure. But it's within the same. It's within degrees. So, it's just a deeper understanding so you can know how to relate these stories and these allegories and things to yourself. That's all it is. That's all it's really boiling down to, you know. But I'm going to drop that video for y'all. I'm going to put it on the YouTube. So once it's up there, I will share it to the page so that y'all know that it's there. But yeah, I'm gonna drop that Stranger Things for y'all. You know, because it's a lot of gems in that. Like, even down to her being 11. Because the numbers is, you know, can be considered like the first spiritual language. So, you know, if you can understand the science of numbers, then you can get to a lot of things, you know. So, that's all for the time being. I will save the live. I will post it so, you know, y'all can share it or what have you. You know, I don't expect the total complete zombies to really, you know, get it, but you know, this just for my peoples that I'm rocking with, because I'm building a community, you know, and I'm sharing my journey with y'all of what I'm learning and how everything is helping me. So maybe it'll help somebody else, you know. So, but at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, man, it's just your lower nature. It's just you. You gotta, it's all about, you know, like I said initially, we Humpty Dumpty trying to put ourselves back together again. That's it. That's it. You know, you can't let your ego trick you. You know, you gotta rule over self. You know. But until next time, good people, peace.